Hey everybody, and welcome back to Coffee Break. My name is Bubba, and on this podcast, we go over the coffee industry's most interesting news, podcasts, and resources. On today's episode, we will cover my top stories of the week, my top podcasts, a couple events, and yeah, let's get into it. Our first story talks about a study from Farmers Connect that talks about how 1/3 of UK consumers think that coffee industry needs to adopt more innovation. Some of these innovations include things like more sustainable packaging, use of blockchain technology, and use of QR codes. Blockchain technology in and of itself is really awesome, and it impacts things within the supply chain like making transactions, tracking inventory, shipping, everything. From the Farmers Connect website, they pose the question, so what does that mean really? They state, we help farmers connect to the supply chain with the Farmer ID app. This is the Farmers Connect. Get proof of their identity and income so they can get loans, help businesses like co-ops, exporters, importers, and traders, store and share information about their product, and share that story through the Thank My Farmer app when you scan a QR code. I think the use of blockchain technology is really amazing, and I hope to see more of this being adopted in the larger coffee world. You can find more information about the Farmers Connect from the link that I post in the show notes. Our next article is a barista's guide to drink development. This covers two different things. One is developing drinks for competition. The other is developing drinks for your cafe. The article states for competition drinks that whenever it comes to competition drinks, everything has to bend to the flow of customer service in the routine. Your drink can taste great, but how does it play into the story that you're telling? So it's kind of a big show that you have to kind of put on, and the drink being a huge part of that show. Creating drinks for a cafe, however, is slightly different because you want it to be more accessible, as the article states. You want more people to be able to enjoy the beverage or drink that you make. Additionally, with cafes, you want to make sure that the beverage that you have, that it can be easily replicated. Having developed drink recipes for a small scale stuff, but also large scale stuff, how complex the drink is really depends on your throughput and how much time you're willing to invest into both preparing the individual components and putting it together, presenting it. All in all though, for a cafe, it's always good to have a couple options out there for people who have certain sensitivities or allergies, and also keeping in mind that it's always nice to have seasonal offerings out there as well. It's a good article. If you have time, you should give it a read. There's more information that you may find beneficial to you and your organization. And our next story talks about a new analysis from Global Industry Analysis reveals steady growth for decaffeinated coffee with the market to reach 2.3 billion worldwide by 2026. In the analysis, it covers a lot of major coffee producers spanning all markets around the world. Having had to switch to decaf due to some health issues, I found that it's really difficult to find really good decaf coffee. There are some places and locations that do take the time and energy and effort to find really solid decaf, which can be amazing if it's roasted and extracted properly. I just found it interesting that the demand for decaf coffee continues to rise. If you know of a space or location that serves some really solid decaf espresso, please let me know. You can find more information about the analysis in the paper that I will link in the show notes. The first podcast pick of the week is actually a series called the WCC Podcast, in which they interview past world coffee champions. Always interesting to know a person's backstory to see what got them there and what inspired them to compete. And yeah, really good conversations. And my next podcast pick for the week is once again from the Daily Coffee Pro with Lisa Farr in a podcast titled Automation in Coffee Could Be Your Solution. Having worked in the coffee industry for about 11 years now, I've seen the benefit of automating some processes within the coffee making process. The biggest benefit of these is reducing the repetitive motion wear and tear that can happen and develop over time. And my goal is to always leverage technology as much as we can, in so long as we're not compromising the flavor of the product and the experience too much. The goal is always to produce the best experience and product that you can for as many people as you can, for as long as you can. This is especially important, especially at locations that have a high throughput, that touch into the high hundreds or thousands per day. The podcast goes in a lot more detail, a lot more really good information. So I would suggest that if you have time, go ahead and check it out. And the first event I want to cover is the 2022 NCA convention. If you want more information or updates about the convention, you can go ahead and connect to the link in the show notes and enter your email address for the most recent updates. The next is a workshop or talk about the future of green tech. Information covered talks about opportunities not only in the food industry, but also the beverage, specifically coffee. If you're interested in the event, you can get more information at the link provided in the show notes. and you can go ahead and register for the event online as well. That's all we have for today, so thank you for being here, listening in. If you enjoy what you hear, please feel free to add comments in the comment section below about any topics or specific regions or areas you want me to focus on or cover, so I can provide more of a tailored experience to you. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet to get notified as soon as episodes drop. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and see you next time.